Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Pure, and I'm joined with Mario
What's up, everyone?
and Connor.
Hey guys.
We're going to talk about the X-Files, Season 10, Episode 2, or the miniseries Episode 2, if you'd rather call it that. The episode is called Founder's Mutation. Of course, the first episode was last night. We reviewed that. You can already check that out. Or if you listen to the audio, you just heard it like 30 seconds ago. Magic, how this works. But full spoilers for this episode, as always, when we review a show here. So, Mario, did you think the second episode was an improvement over the first?
Definitely. It was It's more like a regular episode. It's more what the show's about.
Yeah. Which, funnily enough, it means it's... X-Files is almost at its best when it's not bothering with the overall story.
Yeah.
And it's just focusing on a fun, like, sci-fi horror thing. Connor, how did you feel?
Yeah, I liked it more in some ways and less in others. I liked that. Obviously, it was standalone, so it was kind of just fun, and it was what I did expect from the show going in originally.
Mm.
And I'm glad that there was nowhere near as much exposition.
Right.
But I feel like with only 6 episodes, it could have been like more serialized, less procedural than it was, because this still felt like it was pretty procedural, back to like the formula that you'd expect from X-Files.
Yeah, that's
Right.
felt like episode 2 of a 22 episode season.
Yeah,
not of a
yeah,
6
and then
episode season.
with 6, I expect something a bit different, which is a little bit disappointing.
No, that's very true.
Yeah. It's very much a catch-22, and on the one hand, it's better than last night's, but on the other hand, it's like... It's
We've already burned 2 episodes.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of a waste of time almost, in a weird way.
Yeah,
So, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was fine. I thought there was some intriguing mystery. You know, what you know, they did the cold open with this guy who we've never met, and that's very traditional. Even from what I've seen of the first season, usually the first scene will be someone we don't know and something weird as shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then
Sets up the episode.
then they come in and obviously investigate it. And you know, stabbing yourself in the ear is definitely was quite brutal for network TV.
Yeah, this Jesus Christ, this episode got pretty intense.
yeah. There were some other bits I was like, I'm surprised they're showing this.
Are we talking about the deformed kids yet? Is that where we're going with this?
I was talking more about the woman on the road. After
Yeah,
the car
that's
accident,
that's
stabbing
where
her
I was going,
pregnant stomach.
and then chopping it open. And yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, this is not quite what I expected at this time of night.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm actually kind of glad that the threshold for TV goers settled at a nice place. Yeah. Well, it's this thing. It's like, see, once you get over a certain age, and by that I just really mean 18, you stop really caring about what the intended age range is.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah, this doesn't really matter anymore.
yeah, if you're watching something that feels like it should have a bit of violence and gore, then you want it to have the violence and gore. It only feels out of place when you're watching either something that feels like it should be violent and they're shying away from it, or you're watching Dora the Explorer and suddenly someone's slitting the throat. You know.
Jesus, that's a crazy ass episode.
I think it's less about that. It's just more not what you expected on network TV. Still, we're still in that area where you expect them to shy away more.
I don't know. After Hannibal, this was nothing.
Yeah, sure. After that, but you gotta remember, this is X-Files. It's from a different time where you still expect it to kind of feel like that.
Which they kept pointing out because he pulls out the smartphone, and I even thought when he pulled out the smartphone in the guy's pocket, I'm like, hey, they didn't exist when this show was on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they even crack a joke about how she's pre-Google and all that, and like, that's true. Google did not exist when this show started.
Yep.
No, it didn't.
These are all true facts. They kept it to a minimum, which was nice. I think it'd have gotten a bit old if they kept doing the whole, oh, look at how much time has passed. But hey. I was a little bit confused with parts of this episode, and I don't know if it's because it's meant to be confusing, or if it's because I've not seen 9 seasons and 2 movies of X-Files. So, alright, I'm going to ask a question. See, that's the thing, I don't even know if they're flashbacks or if they're dreams, because at first I thought when Sully's having like the sort of, she's like, you see her with her kid and taking them to school, and then bad stuff happens. I'm like, okay, this is a nightmare. This is her imagining how bad it might have been had she raised them, right? But then it cut to like the present day or whatever, and she's just sitting in a chair. It wasn't. She didn't wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night, going like, "Oh my god!" Like, yeah. She was just sitting there, looking at a photo. I'm like, was that a flashback?
It's like a combination of the two.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but that's what made it really confusing. And then later, Mulder sees him getting abducted by aliens, which may or may not be a flashback / dream.
Yeah, it's a combination of the two because obviously they did have the kid, and they did have it for a little bit. Stuff happened, but it's been adopted and it's got its own life. Because you see him toward the end, he's a lot older.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was under the impression that they gave him up for adoption when he was younger than what you see him in these
Yeah,
scenes.
I thought it was like still while it was like a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what I got.
even Scully mentions that he would have been 15 at that point.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of the two.
Okay.
But it's just supposed to like represent. It's supposed to tie into people that have seen it and know what's going on, but then also just obviously represent what's going on with the episode as far as the kids.
I felt like it was a little too confusing for me as well. That bit. It just kind of felt a bit weird.
I think for people who haven't seen the show, it's like, did this stuff happen? Because we don't know.
Yeah, they didn't really make it very clear.
Yeah. So I don't know what they could have done to make it easier. Maybe them actually, like I said, waking up in a cold sweat at the end of it, just to see this isn't exactly what happened. There might be elements of this that are true, but this isn't exactly what happened. It's a dream.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot you can do. Again, it's the same problems we were talking about jumping into the series and then advertising that it's something you could jump into. You're putting yourself into a corner of
It's
a
almost
lot
like,
of continuity.
yeah, it's almost like DC saying that you can jump into New 52 Green Lantern.
Yeah, and then have no idea what's going on at all.
That was a bad thing to try.
And it was basically issue 58 of the series.
Yep.
Or whatever number they were at. I can't remember what number they stopped the previous one at. But
Yep. Well, even Batman wasn't that good either. Like, for anyone that didn't read, they're just like,
yeah.
he has a son now? When the fuck did that happen?
I mentioned the deformed kids. I thought that was a really... I kind of liked it, but at the same time, I thought a couple of the deformed kids were a bit over the top. Particularly the kid who had the really weird bottom half of his face and he was eating cereal.
Yeah.
I thought that was like too far. Like, they made it look so, like, over the top and, like, disgusting.
Yeah, well, kind of cartoony because like the formation of like legs and arms being really big, like that happens.
Yeah, the Elephant Man
And-
disease is a...
Yeah, so there's
thing.
those things like that we've seen, but the guy's like his like whole cheeks were all like just like melted onto this like tray.
Yeah.
How much
And that
skin
just-
does he have in these cheeks to stretch
Yeah.
out that much?
It just felt like something out of like Men in Black.
Yeah, something like Men in Black, or in a weird way, it made me think of like Krang from Turtles. I don't know why, it just kind of did.
Okay.
Although the badass kid at the end had a monocle.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Nothing wrong with a monocle. He can walk outside and he'll be the pimp of the room because he's got a monocle.
He needs a hat. He needs a top hat.
Yeah, it's the hat, the bow tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it progresses the ongoing story a little bit. There's more talk about girls getting pregnant and kind of the conspiracy that's going behind them. And there's also tying into Scully.
Yeah, was she, used as a sort of incubator for whatever they were testing?
Right.
See the girl who played the pregnant girl who then died in the car accident? Mm-hmm. Well, I say accident with air quotes. We suspect foul play. Was she been in recently? Because she was in something else.
It's really bothering me as well because I know I've seen her in something.
I never
too.
had a chance to look it up before we started recording this, but I know her face from another show or something.
Me too.
I'm gonna have to look that up after. Let us know in the
It's a great-
comments if you happen to know what she's from. I think it was a good episode. It was better than last night's. It felt more like X-Files. I still don't think it's... I mean, again, I'm saying this only having seen most of the first season, but I still don't think it's up there with the best of the X-Files episodes.
No.
This felt like more of a... It's more like X-Files, but it's more of a sort of... average.
Regular,
Yeah.
general episode that you expect.
Yeah.
I still think the biggest problem is there's no villain. Like, there's a mystery, and that's cool, and that's always been like the key of the show. But in previous seasons, there was a villain. There was a key direction as to what was happening, and that added to the mystery. But at least give you a direction. Right now, it just seems like they're just finding out random things that kind of tie into this idea of Mulder figuring out more of what been happening with women and experimentation,
Yeah.
and the purpose and what was the goal.
Yeah. What do they try to do with the alien technology, which may or may
Right.
not lead to using satellites to cause droughts?
And creating more gingers
They're creating more
because they're,
dangers.
they're clearly unnatural.
That's what the villains are. It's just an army of gingers. We're
I
taking
was
They're
over.
clearly unnatural. So I mean,
Joe actually thought it was a really cool moment when the woman who's in the nut house. I'm sorry if that's on PC, but the woman who's in the nut house and she's talking about her kid, her daughter Molly, I think her name was, got in the swimming pool. I actually thought the imagery of the kid turning around and smiling underwater was really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought it was a really nice shot. It evoked a lot of weird feelings because you're like, oh, you're worried because the kid's drowning, and it's like, holy shit,
why
like,
aren't you drowning?
she's like a fucking fish. What the hell?
But then she looks really happy too, so
Yeah.
you're like relieved, but
It's like
creeped out.
her lungs are happier because or her lungs feel better because she's got water in them, like she's meant to have that or something. Alien DNA, folks.
It's confusing stuff.
Yeah. How long before deep sea divers start taking some alien DNA pills to enhance their diving? All right. So we're all more positive in this one than last night's. I mean, my expectations for the rest of this now are kind of like it'll be decent X-Files, but not the.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be more of like one solid story with only 6 episodes,
Yeah,
but it's just it feels more like it's going to be a collection of greatest hits from a series of 22, just only 6 of them instead.
I mean, it's not really surprising given what we've gotten, because most of the time when it's like this is the last season, and this is the last movie, it's always disappointing.
Yeah, I think this is the problem. Is all the things I heard about the last movie, and the season final is that he never like Chris Carter. I'm saying that name right. He seems to like when they announced this series, I thought, okay, this is their chance to give it an ending because it never really had an ending properly, right? Where there was closure, and he's like, and that's not to say you have to wrap a neat bow and everything. I'm someone who's a fan of Lost ending. Like I'm quite happy with leaving some ambiguity, but with if it feels like he keeps getting these chances to do, all right, we can do a final story, but instead of doing a story that feels like a wrap up of the show, that feels like the epic conclusion, he's just doing, oh, let's just do some more standard middle of the season episodes.
And then some weird random shit happens.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
All right, so that's the second episode of X-Files. So we'll be back next week with episode 3.